everyone joining us today. This is me, Afifa Usman, Education Wali. It's an honor and a moment of great excitement as well as we welcome our truly empowering personality, Andrea Mason, the woman behind the powerful movement Victim to Victorious. Andrea is a heart centered trailblazer and author, a speaker, and a proud alumna of the legendary Les Brown. She is known for inspiring thousands around the world to rise above pain and walk with purpose. With her unique blend of emotional intelligence, personal experience, and global perspective, she has helped countless individuals break barriers and reclaim their power. Let's open our hearts and mind to the voice of transformation. Please help me welcome the incredible Andrea Mason.
Wow, what an amazing introduction. Thank you so much, Miss Afifa. Thank you, Zafar. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. As you can see, I'm out in the elements up here in the middle of nowhere and just taking it all in. For those of you who don't know, I have been working with Zafar for quite some months now. Check out the footage, check out the links that he's provided, look at what his mission is. And I am honored and privileged of your presence, Madam Afifa, to be here and learn that you are a student of Rihanna Lawala as well as an education skill set. So thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate. What an honor. Thank you.
Again, yeah, thank you so much being on the show, and you've been gracing this show, and you're the powerhouse of energy. You're alumni of Les Brown and Victim to Victoria. So it's such a press play and plan your life according to you. It's amazing concept. I mean, I would love to request you to please say your heart out today and tell the world about yourself that you want ever to tell.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have endured a lot over the last 72 hours. So prepare yourself, brace yourself, and hear what I have to say. In today's world and society, what is left is now right, what is up is now down. It's chaotic and controversial. People are wanting to conform as opposed to transform. People want to dictate instead of listen. As you can may or may not hear in my voice, I have been under the weather, but I have been trucking through. I have experienced conversations of the last 72 hours of individuals who are getting burnt out. They are getting exhausted. They are getting fatigued. They are working their fingers and minds to the bone. Ladies and gentlemen, mental health is a serious component that I am going and am declaring and establishing myself as the face of change from mental health. We have our abilities to listen to our bodies, to listen to our minds. But many times we have that little ego that says, I have to show up for the audience. I have to be there. People in my life have gone to the hospital recently, have been sick, have been fatigued, have put their businesses and lives on pause because they are not listening to their bodies. Our health is our number one asset, and without it, we are not here. So, as I kick off today's segment, I want to empower you to ignite the flame, to allow yourself to press pause in the game of life. Of course, I talk about play. That's my mission, my bond, my excitement, and my message. Plan life according to you. However, as the face of change of mental health, as alumna of Les Brown, as the creator and innovator, established author, all of those titles mean nothing if I'm not here. Mental health is very key right now. People are lost. People are frustrated. People are hurting. So I encourage you today, if you are less than 100% right now, give grace, give acknowledgement, give awareness to press pause and allow your body to reset, reboot, and recharge. Over to you.
Thank you so much. This is amazing advice that anybody can get it to the globe. Your brand carries the bold promise of transforming from victim to victorious. What was the personal breaking moment that ultimately became your breakthrough?
The ultimate breaking moment was when I was fighting for my life after my mother had passed. I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself, people pleasing, putting others first, giving 110%, and none of that percentage was for myself. I realized I could do more and be more, and that the energy I was emulating to others was negative and toxic. And that's what I was receiving. So when I was fighting for my life in that hospital bed in 2016, I decided to make a declaration. I am not going to be in this hamster wheel of life of being stuck, isolated, tired, and frustrated. I was going to make and take action. Over to you.
Thank you. You advocate for people to press play, PLAY, plan life according to you. What does play mean to you today, and how did you discover this philosophy?
Play means to me today different from the inception years ago. Play means today is that without judgment, you're not here to appease others. You're not here to fill another's dream. You have a mission. Your belief system, your calling, and your passions are what gifts were given to you. So today's day and age, although play was plan life according to you upon inception, today still remains true, but make sure that you're saying yes to yourself before saying yes to others. Over to you.
Thank you. You've worn many hats:
Mhm,
clinician, teacher, coach, speaker. What
mhm.
role did emotional healing and forgiveness play in aligning your professional path in your purpose?
One of the key component roles when I first started and stepped out into expanding my message to the globe. I'll never forget I did a video, and you could check out my YouTube channel. I have over 1,000 videos, always looking for more subscribers. And somebody reached out to me from overseas and they said, would it be all right if I called you Ma? And at first I was concerned. I wasn't sure how to receive that message. But they said, your message and your energy has given me the empowerment to do better. And from that moment on, what I tell anyone who puts their face or voice on social media, the screen, or the internet, someone is listening, someone is watching. And the fact that someone overseas whom I've never met, still to this day I connect, but never met, has given me the honor, the privilege, and the title of calling them calling and addressing me as Ma, as a prominent figure in the nucleus of a family, mother, spoke volume. That allowed me to have personal freedom of achieving forgiveness. I was able to forgive for my mother had passed, that, the Creator had taken another mother from me. I was able to forgive myself, to let go of that harnessing heartache and void that I was placing upon myself. That was the pivotal moment, knowing that my voice was for the voiceless across the waters and across the borders. Back to you.
Thank you so much. That's so heartful hearing that. Many people carry emotional weight silently. What
Mhm.
practical steps do you recommend for someone who's ready to break the cycle but doesn't know where to begin?
Yes, one of my trainers along the way has actually helped me through the tough time of losing my mother. They were saying the lot of misconceptions of grief is sadness, depression, isolation, and frustration. but no one gets the underlying core of truly and pure anger. And it didn't make sense at first. Why would I be angry? Makes sense to be sad. My mother is gone. And it was at that pivotal moment, ladies and gentlemen, that I realized I was being the lone wolf. I was being isolative, but I had so much rage in because I was holding it and harnessing it because I didn't want to burden others. I didn't want to outlash on others. So I'm telling you today, for those who are sitting in silence with anger, frustration, isolation, depression, anxiety, do yourself a favor. It's going to sound crazy, but I'm going to give you three. I'm a lover of the number three. I'm going to give you three techniques. The first technique is to go somewhere if you feel comfortable out in the elements and scream. Go somewhere in the elements and cry. Go somewhere in the elements and just embody the emotion at hand. Nature's healing. We are all connected. We are energy beings. So why not turn to Mother Earth to regain that energy? Number two, the power of the pen. Start journaling your emotions. In psychology, we talk about free writing, and we don't cognitively know what we're going to write down, but you journal for a timed amount, a period, a measurable amount of time, a minute, 30 seconds, whatever, to each his own. And what you will find and discover is all the subconscious thoughts that you've been harvesting in your mind. That's why they say journaling is so powerful. If you don't want to journal, Dear Diary. If you don't want to do Dear Diary, write a letter to a friend. If not, then do free writing and just let the pen go in your hand and write whatever for a measurable amount of time. So, one, go into nature, back into the frequency and elements, and scream, yell, you know, do whatever floats your boat. Sit in a safe manner. Two, write down your thoughts. Sometimes when people say, "Are you okay?" we say we're okay. When reality, when we don't have the actual into intention to write something down and we just free write it, so much gets unveiled. Finally, number three, you know this, gratitude attitude. If you start looking at your life as grandiose as having a family or a career to as minute, which is actually more powerful than anything that's on this earth, waking up today, that's going to shift your frequency to choose to press play. Plan life according to you. Back to you.
Thank you. Going to elements and writing yourself in, at least if journaling in diary,
Mhm.
are amazing. But gratitude attitudes is awesome.
Mhm.
You've built a global platform while staying true to your authentic, heart centered message. What does it take to remain grounded while amplifying your voice across countries?
What keeps me grounded is knowing that there's no other person out there like me. Just like there's no other Zafar, no other FIFA. We all have a fingerprint. We are all creating and making, establishing our footprints on this beautiful earth. What makes me stand out from the crowd is I don't have a script. I don't have a plan of action. Whenever I hit that camera and turn on the camera, I speak from my heart. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm not here to boast about what I've done and what my pains and my, successes have been. But I am here to exemplify my purpose. I am here, gratitude attitude. I'm still alive, fighting for my life when it wasn't even in the stars for me. I am here sharing my personal stories, my messages without judgment, without ridicule, and extending my hand and my heart to walk beside you. A lot of individuals today focus, the greats say energy flows where focus goes. A lot of people want abundance financial mindset. Again, to each his own. A lot of individuals want a healthy relationship, happy children, an establishing and thriving career. You ask me what means abundance? Waking up every day, choosing to press play, plan life according to me in this case, and not worrying at all about the judgments, the naysayers, the non believers, or the critics. Why? Because just like it says in the book, I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. Someone that can resonate with my story, I welcome. Someone who wants to challenge me, I welcome. Someone who says negative, let's have a conversation. I'm not better than you, you're not better than me, but I'll be darned, I'm going to be the best version of myself every single day. Over to you.
That's amazing advice. You've mentioned others through Les Brown. You've mentored others through Les Brown's Academy and beyond. How
Yes.
do you define leadership in your today's emotionally fatigued world?
Leadership in today's fatigue world, you know, we have to stop comparing ourselves to everyone. That's the biggest gripe that people have. I'm not making this amount of money. That person's excelling beyond what I'm doing. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you're sitting in front of the person, and even your closest family member, your spouse or your children, don't even know all the stories that are going inside of your head. Leadership is taking the pen in your hands and writing your own story and living your best life the way you want to. Leadership is leading by example. Leadership is leading from the back, bringing and lifting others up. Why? Because you pay it forward. You want to make sure your cup is 100% full before pouring into others. Leadership is acting with integrity and authenticity, two of my biggest brands of who I am. I'm not here to persuade, manipulate, scam, or whatever. Growing up, people used to say, Andrea, what you see is what you get. There's no filter. I don't have all the glamorous things that other people use. I want to bring the essence of authenticity and individuality of everyone that, hey, you don't need that filter. You don't need that $1 million background. You don't need that glamorous dress. If you want it, by all means, to each his own. But you are the best version that you are when you continue to always show up and never give up. Over to you.
Thank you. How do you personally define abundance? And how has your definition evolved through the seasons of your life?
Abundance used to be a false reality that I never really understood. How could there be abundance of things? You know, there's billions of people on this planet, and who am I to be worthy of something of great abundance? And as I was having that limited, and as we spoke the other day, that scarcity mindset, I didn't understand that there is a level of abundance on many more ways than one. So during my childhood and adolescence, abundance was a false reality. It was not existence. During my collegiate years, I started tapping into it. I was like, all right, law of attraction, abundance. What you want is not what I want. What they need may not be what I need. And so when you shift the mentality of the 12 principles of law and you look into abundance as something that is infinite, that you're worthy and deserving of because you're part of the creative process, then abundance can mean anything from you, from intellect, knowledge, communication, network, finance, material items, or abundance of unconditional love, which is what I believe. Over to you.
Thank you. What legacy you most committed to building? And what message would you give to the next Andrea Mason still hiding her story?
I would say the legacy that I want to lead as far as Andrea Mason is anything that you've gone through gives you the right and certification and permission to help others achieve it too. What does that mean? If you've gone through a divorce, if you've gone through an addiction, if you've gone through bankruptcy, if you've gone through failures, that's another lesson in your toolbox that you can pass on to others. And the legacy I want to leave is that follow your heart, not the herd nor the hurt, for success and joyfulness are on the other side. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I mean, following one's heart is amazing advice. You often talk about accountability being a form of self love. How does emotional accountability differ from discipline, and why is it crucial for personal growth?
Excellent question. Accountability is different from discipline because discipline is in alignment with following steps, logistics, and gaining results. Accountability coincides with responsibility. Being accountable for your decisions, behaviors, and non behaviors that you're taking initiative to. Accountability is saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm responsible and I'm going to take action to correct it. You know what, I did something amazing. I'm going to celebrate it and share it with others. So that would be the difference that I see in personal growth that's so powerful is understanding accountability doesn't have to have a negative connection towards it. Accountability is holding your own to thyself be true and making sure it's followed through. Over to you.
Thank you. What role has silence or solitude played in your personal healing journey? And how do you recommend others embrace quiet reflection in a noisy world?
Yes, silence can be helpful and hurtful. When I was going through a period of my life of isolation and lone wolf was what they call it mentality, silence can be very damaging. It's that naysayer, that constant role playing reel in your head that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, this is what you've asked for, and so forth. And if we don't quiet the noise in our mind, it could really become toxic in a physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional component. However, if you're intentional and put attention towards silence, you can unveil and unravel the messages that your heart is attempting to share with you, but also recognize the difference between your heart and your ego. So silence is prominent, it is necessary, but it also has to be tapped into awareness. Is it helpful or is it harmful? Over to you.
Thank you. Your brand blends heart, healing, and high performance. How do you balance emotional authenticity with building a business that scales?
This is a challenging component that I wasn't prepared for, to be quite honest, during this journey, because in the beginning, I had the mentality I can help everyone. In the beginning, that everyone is ready, everyone's as passionate and excited to transform their lives. Unfortunately, a small percentage is ready to take that leap. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the belief, self confidence, or willingness to change. Unfortunately, people parallel change with responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, paraphrased of Spider-Man. So what I tell people is when you're building a business, regardless of what it is, in order to do it authentically and with integrity, you have to find out your why. Why are you doing it? What is the reason you're going to work 24 hours, 365, 7 days a week, and push everything aside? After you do that, Then you figure out who is going to take action. I've connected with a lot of individuals over the years, and they were like, Andrea, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to press play on life. Second connection, when we figure out the ways and what the next steps are, they start retracting and retracting and retracting. Why? Because we're creatures of comfort. Society has says that it works smarter, not harder. Society says that when with great change comes great responsibility and transformation. But those who have successfully walked that I walk beside them are exceeding their dreams well beyond their greatest imagination. So I tell you, if you're building a business, three components that are going to keep you in the game: understanding your why, knowing your audience, and delivering what you're about. Back over to you.
Thank you. Many service based entrepreneurs struggle with charging what they are worth. What mindset shift help you break free from servant pricing to premium value?
This was an eye opener and a great question. So, when I started my business and really tallying the uh, products and services and the logistical components, I was just like, oh, well, I'll do a X amount of rates. And I'll never forget one of my coaches said to me, that's great, but let me ask you, when you were building this, how much of this information has come from personal experience? I would answer, how much of this information came from your academic background? How much came from your collegiate background? How much came from TV, social media, people you connected with? And then for the logistical components, they would ask a price range. Well, how much was it for 4 years of college? How much was it for all those books? How much was it for those trainings? And the number just grew larger and larger and larger. And what I realized is, unfortunately, if you give information and content for free or low rates, nobody's going to take you seriously. You're just a scroll on a social media page. But if you bring value, results, transformation, testimonials, and projects of I've been there and done that, then by all means, the rates that you charge is the value that you're going to give. There was a story, and I'm going to make it quick to be mindful of time. There was a story of this individual where I believe the story, you can fact check and cross check, but I believe the story was something along the lines of this person needed to fix their, I'm going to say plumbing. I can't recall it off the top of my head, but let's just go with plumbing. They needed their sink to be fixed, to have running water. And so the person who was the technician at the time said, okay, well, this is how much the labor is going to cost. This is how much the actual product was. And the customer said, well, that's ridiculous. If the product is like $10 and you're charging labor for $500, why I would just do it myself. And they said, well, think about this. If you didn't call me out here, you could have picked up the wrong part or caused more problem. So the long of the short of that analogy of that story is, you want something, you want to get to A to point B, and I've already done it. I'm going to help you avoid the mistakes that I've made. I'm going to educate and open and expand your mind with the endless opportunities that are available to you. You show me a textbook or a training or a video that does that and actually has a heart to heart conversation, go ahead, spend the lower cost. But if you have someone who believes in you more than you believe in yourself and you're willing to get to that next level, the price tag is non relevant to the amount of value, the time. the authenticity and acting with integrity, working with you to make and hold your hand and ensure that you get to that next level.
Thank you. You've turned your personal story into a business and movement.
Yes.
What's your advice to someone scared of being too vulnerable in their brands?
Great question. So, what has come to happen was when I was writing my book and doing other co anthologies with other authors, again, my coach Les Brown says, you don't have to tell them everything. Just tell them what is their problem or what is their area of improvement that they're looking to overcome. How do they do it? And share how you've done it. I'm transparent. I was bold enough and brave enough to share my story in my book from cover to cover on what really happened and how I went through it. That was my personal decision to be vulnerable and transparent. A lot of other authors don't do that, and to each his own. But if you want to start writing, or if you want to start taking that initiative, hey, you know what? I had something that I had a medical condition, but I'm still here and I was able to overcome it. I want to put that into writing. Go ahead. You don't have to talk about all the personal trials and tribulations. You can talk about the blueprint that you took to get to that other side.
Thank you. You work with clients around the globe.
Yes.
How do you stay culturally sensitive while delivering a universally empowering message?
I ignore the news. I ignore media. I'm not here to judge that you're from Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, or Australia. I'm here to talk to the other person on the other side of the screen, and whatever they share with me in their comfort zone or what they're ready to, that's where we connect. I meet them where they're at.
What's one cultural lesson or insight from your global clients that has shifted how you coach or speak?
I got a call. We have a few more minutes. I received a call a few years ago from someone who I did a webinar, virtual webinar. Never met this person on the other side of the world. And they had actually connected with me in a private chat, and they had expressed that their family member was extremely ill. And with permission, I asked what the region where they were. I said, you know what? I know someone, a doctor who lives in that area. Got on the phone with the doctor. Doctor was over and able to meet that individual's family member who was extremely ill. That's the level that I'm willing to go to assure that people are able to be heard. That's the face of change of mental health, that I'm not judging you because of your limited belief, your race, your background, your culture. If I'm unable to provide assistance, I will do what I am able to do to find someone who can assist you. And the fact that time, at that moment, that individual's family member needed immediate medical attention. All I had to do was look through somebody I connected with. Haven't even met that person. They were less than 30 minutes from that person and checked in on their loved one. That's the lengths I'm willing to go to help someone if they're willing to as well.
Thank you. If you had still to do if you had to distill your life purpose into single sentence or mantra, what would it be?
Through the toughest times, miracles are made. Life's trials and tribulations, that you can find triumphs that will be won. And no matter what, never give up. Always show up.
What is one future project or movement you're quietly dreaming about but hasn't shared publicly until now?
One of the dreams that I have in the future is to plant my feet on the soil, on every continent, who has showed me unconditional love.
Great of you. Thank you so much. And lastly, we've got rapid fire on abundance edition. One book that changed your life.
The Secret
The Secret.
by Rhonda
Brenda,
Byrne. Yes,
Brenda Barr. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
The whole world. Okay, what was the main theme of that? If once once you decide with conviction and fix a goal, the whole world conspires for you to actualize it. Is that the whole story about?
Yes, if you could see it in your mind, you could hold it in your hand. Absolutely.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, one belief you had to unlearn.
Everybody's going to support you. Everybody's going to
Mm,
see your dream. Everybody's going to support you and love you who say they were. Ladies and gentlemen, this road that I've been on has been amazing. But truth be told, it has been extremely lonely. But I don't focus on the loneliness. I focus on the transformation and the connections that I make throughout.
abundance is
Abundance is hmm, joyfulness.
clarity means
Clarity means looking within, self reflection.
victim to victorious in one word.
Victim to victorious in one word, warrior.
Oh, okay. FIFA, over to you. And for the Thanksgiving to Andrea Mason. She's an amazing personality, and she's the one. I mean, right now, if I've got a lot of energies, she's one of the source of mine. She's also my mentor. I mean, I have learned over these months. I have learned so much from her. And Victim to Victorious is not just a book. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a wisdom. It's a way of life. It's like when all those who are broken down and wrapped into those, all those who are sitting on ashes right now, all those who are broken, all those who are down, all those who are in darkness and they do not know what to do, they should go watch, they read this book, Victim to Victorious. Just click on andreamason.com. Just find her on social media. She is abundantly available, and she's holding seminars, workshops, webinars, conferences, and she's going all around the world. She's all available, and she's so abundant personality. She's a giver. And over to you, FIFA, for the nice remarks in respect of Andrea Mason, Les Brown's
Uh,
alumni and writer of
yeah,
Victorious.
yeah, thank you so much. What a soul stirring and empowering session this has been. Miss Andrea Messon, your journey from victim to victorious is more than a personal triumph. It's a movement. Your message of self-love, healing, and heart centered living reminds us that the greatest transformation begins within. Thank you for showing us that embracing ourselves fully and fearlessly is the first step to true empowerment. Your words don't just inspire, they awaken. And to Zafar, a heartfelt thank you for making this powerful connection possible. Your support truly opened a door to something impactful. Grateful for your presence, your energy, and the light you have shared. Until we meet again, keep raising, keep shining, and above all, keep loving yourself. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much. Check right here. Wait, right. Let me go. Right here, AndreaMasons.com. I also have opportunities for mentors and mentees and interns. Connect with abundance. Find me on social media and let's walk this beautiful journey of life together. Thank you so much, Zafar. Thank you so much, Afifa. To each his own. Follow your heart, not the herd nor the hurt, for success and joyfulness are on the other side. I'll see you real soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Players, and thank you so much. Thank